And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your friend Cheap Ludes. What a glorious Tuesday it is in NBA 2K23 My Team. Tuesday is typically a day of celebration within the My Team community as a whole, because typically we get some new packs, some new content. You know, everything's kind of gelling smoothly. Now that is not the case this Tuesday. I will forewarn you now. Just kind of a doozy of a Tuesday, but let's dissect the new content. So first things first, we did end up getting super packs. Not exactly shocking. We got the best of My Team super packs. It's got every single card in here. Once again, I'm just gonna say it, you shouldn't open these. Like, just don't open these. There's no point. Like, the reason I say don't open these is because what's the point? Like, truly, none of these cards, I mean, yeah, they're gonna make your lineup, but do you care? No, you don't care. I know you don't, because I don't care. So there's really no point to opening these packs. You're most likely going to get majority diamond or below, and every single one of those cards is cheap at this point, so it doesn't really matter. The box has a guaranteed diamond or higher. It costs over $50, so that's good. That's sick. I don't know. Just don't open these. Like, if you got your pre-order VC or something, like, sure, by all means, like, rip a couple singles, you know. You're guaranteed an amethyst or higher. Hooray. But don't go out and buy VC for this. There's no point. Even if you rip a couple singles, like, you're probably going to get Anthony Simons and, like, Taco Fall and, like, guys you can buy for, like, 2,000 MTs. So don't open these. Now, these super packs have been coming with Evos this year. Unfortunately, there are no Evos this week, which sucks because there's actually a bunch of cards that could have benefited from an Evo. They could have started doing diamonds, so I don't really understand why they didn't do that. Like, the likelihood that we get a new Jason Richardson or we get a new Latrell Sprewell in the near future is probably pretty low. So giving guys like this Evos would have been huge. Jalen Green too. It's unlikely we get a new Jalen Green anytime soon unless it's a moments card. So it would have been nice to see like a new Jalen Green pop up. That would have been fun. Andre Karolinko, like an Evo for DeAndre Jordan, because there's absolutely no way DeAndre Jordan is getting a new card, at least in the immediate future. So it would have been nice to see stuff like that. A new Evo for like JR or, you know, just any of these diamonds that are unlikely to get an upgrade. Would have been fantastic. Marcus Smart didn't get an upgrade. He's probably going to get another card at some point. Like Oladipo's probably not getting a new card, so it would have been cool to see an upgrade for him because he's really fun. Just stuff like that. Even Season 2 cards would have been just fantastic. Even if you want to keep it just Amethyst, like Kelly Oubre, Duncan Robinson, chances are they're not getting upgrades. DeJounte Murray could have gotten an upgrade. It would have just been nice to see some Evos, but whatever. We did end up getting some new content today, so let's discuss the new content. First things first, we got Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is actually not half bad. I used Diamond Bradley Beal for a pretty decent amount of time earlier this year, and granted it says he's only 6'4", he looks about 6'5", 6'6". Like, he looks a little bit bigger than that. His defensive tendencies are bad, but his defense as a whole is solid. He can move. He's got very meta dribble sigs. His jump shot is very good. They only gave him gold limitless, which I feel like is kind of not chill, but whatever. You know, it is what it is at the end of the day. It doesn't really matter. He's got a good badge count, and he's kind of just good at everything. Like, there's nothing aside from rebounding, but he's a 6'4" shooting guard, so you should kind of understand that. Is bad. And all you have to do is score 300 points over multiple games, which you're going to do, you know, just playing the game, so it doesn't really matter. Him and Stockton are both really, really good. I'm interested. So what I'm going to do at the very end of this, if they do give us one card per position, which it looks like they're going to do, I'm going to probably go into clutch time with just all these Season 3 guys and just try to win games at some point. Should be fun. Like, Stockton and Bradley Beal, that's a really, really nice backcourt. Like, that's solid. Bradley Beal is good, and Stockton is really good, by the way. Like, Stockton is really cool. I haven't really grinded that hard for him, but he's good. And then we got a new takeover player as well. We got Tom Gugliotta. Shout out to Tom Gugliotta, dude. He's got Aaron Gordon's release on normal, which is solid. Like, the release on normal is good. On slow, not so much. He's not moving. He's got Joel Embiid dribble style, which why that's even a dribble style in this game is beyond me, honestly. I don't even know. Basically, the worst possible dribble moves that you could possibly have, Tom Gugliotta has. 81 three-pointer. Like, his badge count isn't great. He's only got silver midi magician, which, look at Tom Gugliotta. You're going to sit here and tell me that this man can't hit mid-ranges? You're tripping, dude. That's his whole bread and butter at this point. He's not horrible. He's just not very good at the same time. He does have a low shot three tendency, though, which is good, so they're not going to guard him. Like, the CPU isn't going to contest as heavily on threes, so that's, like, the one positive I can say about Tom Gugliotta. In addition to the fact that, well, they didn't use the right player model, so he doesn't have his patented double barbed wire tattoos, which is just the best. It's, like, the best part about Tom Gugliotta. It's, like, my man has multiple barbed wire armbands, which is the most late 90s thing that you can possibly have. I wonder if they'll... Yeah, I don't know if the barbed wire armband tattoo is coming back. The tribal tattoo has been coming back for sure. I'll be seeing TikTok teens with tribal tattoos now, but is the barbed wire coming back? I wonder. Like, Tom Gugliotta, if you just look at pictures of him, he wouldn't have looked, aside from the fact that he's, 6'9", he wouldn't have looked out of place at Woodstock 99 committing horrific crimes. Like, it's the barbed wire tattoo, you know what I mean? The challenges aren't that hard, though. Score 39 points with a power forward in a game, 20 rebounds in a game total. Doesn't have to be Minnesota players, which is huge personally. 5 blocks in a game, not Minnesota once again. That's great. 40 rebounds with Timberwolves players over multiple games, very doable. You know, it's over multiple games, which is nice. Get 11 assists with a Timberwolves small forward. That's kind of rough, I'll be honest. And then win 3 games using Timberwolves players. It's not ideal, but it's not hard. Now, Timberwolves aren't exactly a franchise that have a wealth of players available in game, especially really at any position, but especially at the small forward. The small forward actually I think might be their best position, honestly, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, because it's not a position that's great, like, at the end of the day. Let me look on TUKDB. It's not letting me see them, of course. My options that I have are not great. Let's just put it that way. Like, if you manage to get Anthony Edwards during season 1, you'll be in a good position for sure, right? One guy that I would recommend grabbing would be Cat with tokens. He's going to be able to get rebounds. He's going to be able to do a lot of the things. You should have Derrick Rose too, so you at least have like a semi-manageable point guard. Sam Cassell is out here. He's super expensive right now, by the way. If you have any of these cards and you're going to do these challenges with like a bunch of current series guys, then you should sell these cards. Like, even Leitner will get you 4K. Garnett's pretty cheap, and he's usually a good option too if you want to go grab him as well. You can probably bid snipe a Garnett for under 1,000 MT. That, or, you know, you might have to pay 2,000, 3,000 for one, which, if you're trying to get this done, it's not really that big of a deal. His price has kind of increased quite a bit. Looks like he's sitting at about 5K, so I would recommend trying to bid snipe one. But you should be able to get this done with Karl Anthony Towns and then throwing Rudy Gobert in there as well at times. Shouldn't be that hard. Like I said, the small forward thing is going to be kind of rough. You might have to run Taurean Prince, which is not something that I thought I was going to be saying in the near future. You could also run Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers can get assists. Like, he's got a little point guard feel to him, you know. Now, other players that you might have, it's looking pretty desolate out here. You know, let's look at guys I don't have yet. So there's Jimmy Butler, Rubio, Doug West, who's like so expensive for some reason. Latrell Sprewell's relatively cheap as well, but he's technically a shooting guard, and it's like I'm still very torn on if the secondary positions count, because sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Jared Vanderbilt's good for rebounds, but it's not really worth paying 20K when you can just do it with a free card in a semi-pro game, so it doesn't really matter. Wolves Rudy is always out there too. Just kind of depends. You're going to have to do it with Austin Rivers, which is unfortunate. I mean, I think the Sprewell stuff might count, but it's not worth spending 10K to just have it not count. So either way, kind of easy though for Gugliotta. Like, he's not very good, but it's relatively easy to get him. And I don't know if he'll ever really like turn into a player that's going to be beneficial, but I will say that the Timberwolves are always one of the hardest teams to kind of fill out for any type of themed challenge. So if they require you to use Timberwolves players, like, having a free Timberwolves player is going to be huge. Like, that time Gugliotta is definitely going to be holding it down at some point. It may be well into the future when he's not exactly the one you want out there, But especially from a big man perspective, like the only big men that ever get cards for the Timberwolves are always Garnett and Cat. Like, you're not going to be seeing Petrovic, or was it Nikola Petrovic? That was the homie. I can't remember his name, but he played on the 2013 squad. He was huge. He was just this big Russian guy. That was my boy. You're not going to be seeing him. You're not going to be seeing like Derek Jones. Like, you're not going to be seeing guys like that in the game. Anybody from the 2013 Timberwolves. Like, you're not seeing a Timberwolves Andre Karolinko and stuff like that. So you have to kind of hope that you can get these random dudes like Gugliotta and stuff that can just hold it down. I mean, even just Googling best Timberwolves franchise players of all time is not good, dude. It's super bad. Yeah, best Timberwolves players of all time is pretty gross, dude. Especially from a big man perspective. Like, Kevin Love would be the other one, by the way. I knew there was someone I was forgetting, but yeah. Kevin Love, Leitner, like Karl Anthony Towns and Garnett are usually the four Timberwolves big men we get. Leitner typically doesn't get a card that's even remotely, I don't know, usable at any point in time. Like, we don't get Al Jefferson. We don't get Pekovic. Whoever Pooh Richardson is, I don't know who that is, but I like his name, and he's a point guard. Irrelevant, but I just like that his name is Pooh, so that's sick. Other than that, yeah, it's looking real rough. Like, Joe Smith is out here. Gorgie Dieng is on the list of all-time Timberwolves. Like, that should tell you everything you need to know about this franchise in general. It's pretty bad. Like, when I'm looking in here and I'm seeing like Darko Milicic and Taj Gibson on their kind of Mount Rushmore of Timberwolves players, that is not a good sign. That is not a good sign at all. Yeah, I forgot about Shabazz Muhammad, dude. Like, you know what? They should just put every single player on this top Timberwolves of all time. They should just throw them all in the game. Every single one of them, dude. Doesn't matter. Ryan Gomes, put him in. Randy Foye, absolutely put him in. Corey Brewer, for sure. Whoever Rasho Nestorovic is, throw him in the game. Doesn't matter. Whew. That's some dusty lineups right there. I like what I'm seeing. Dante Cunningham, no. Anyways, are these super packs going to drop the price of anyone? I don't. Diamond or below for sure. Like, Kristaps will be cheaper for sure. I hate Kristaps with a burning passion. That being said, I have figured out a way to rebound a little bit better. Shout out to Jazz for that. So Kristaps is a little bit more in my favor right now, but I still hate him. But he is cheaper for sure. I mean, every single diamond card is going to be cheaper. Diamond and Amethyst are going to be way cheaper. If Amethyst could have even gotten cheaper at this point. So if there's anyone specifically that you've been kind of eyeing up, now's a good time to pick them up because they're going to be a lot less expensive than they were before. Like, Lauri Markkanen went from being about 18 to 20K down to about 15 and below, which is good. That's probably where he'll end up. The tis the season guys are already pretty cheap, but by the way, Evan Mobley, super slept on. His jump shot may say slow, but it's really not that slow, and he might be one of the best defensive power forwards in the game. I just want to point that out, by the way. Jonathan Isaac, still good too. You can get him for under 20K. Shea's expensive, but worth every single penny. There's just a lot of guys that you can pick up for a lot cheaper right now, but none of the pink diamonds are going to take a huge hit. Yeah, there's a 7% chance of pulling them, but you got to assume the percentage on a lot of these guys is going to be lower than other guys. Like, yeah, guys like Klay Thompson, Draymond, James Harden, like, these guys are going to be way cheaper. Even like Ron Artest is going to be way cheaper, but any of the top tier options, I mean, you're maybe seeing like a 50,000 MT hit on these guys. And honestly, Ron Artest is more expensive than he was just a couple days ago. That's due to the fact that there's a lot less of them up, but 60K for Ron Artest isn't bad, though. I'm not going to pay that because we're at a power scale point where I just don't feel like paying 60K for Ron. But if I wanted Ron Artest right now, it's a good price point. Paul George is pretty cheap. I mean, his price is evened out since you could buy him for $50. So it is what it is. Hakeem's still kind of expensive due to a lack of big men. Ray Allen's a buyout. That's cool, I guess, if you're interested. Gary Payton is still not a buyout, even though Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He is a buyout. I was going to say, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is just so much better than him, so it's not shocking. Dwight Howard, even with the code, I don't think is a buyout. People don't play Dwight Howard at center, which I find very interesting. Yeah, he's a little bit shorter, but he can definitely hold it down for sure. Hawks players are up a little bit too. The reason being is, like, Josh Smith is more expensive right now because there's a beyond level 40 challenge for him. Keep in mind we are getting Bam Adebayo at the end of the week, which I know a lot of people are not excited about, but I think he's going to be really good. I'm probably going to be proved wrong. Like, I'll say that right now. Like, I'm not one of those get on their high horse guys. Like, I am probably going to be wrong about my take on Bam Adebayo being good. Like, we're going to see the card on Friday, and he's probably going to be dog shit. Like, let's be real. But I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to continuously pretend that he's going to be good. And if he doesn't play power forward, I don't even know what to tell you at that point. I would assume he does, but we'll see what's up. As always, has been your friend Cheap Ludes. Sorry I haven't streamed. Holidays, I've been sick, dude, because obviously my whole water situation and heat situation, it's not shocking that I got a cold because of that, so that's fun. But I'll be back later with more stuff, man. Peace.